You're hot. Charlie Ragle now on the right Twitter guest line with Rocky Minucci. Jimmy B out here at Twin Peaks in Glendale. How you doing, Coach? What's going on, buddy? How are you?
Afternoon, fellas. How's everybody doing?
We are doing good. I am doing well. It's only about me, right, Charlie? You don't care about Minucci and Jimmy. They're here for the ride. I'm just driving this big old caddy right now, and these guys are just coming along for the ride.
We're slacking and Cadillacing, so to speak, Coach.
Exactly. So, hey, Coach, the transfer portal has really changed your job. It changed, the industry in general. But how do you even prepare for the transfer portal as this? We keep hearing more guys that are now entering it. I mean, is there a way to prepare for it, or do you have to be ahead of it and try to get guys from other schools to come to you?
Well, I mean, it certainly has changed the game without question. It's almost like, it's a quasi version of the NFL and free agency, right? It is what it is to an extent. Obviously there's some rules in place, and obviously we cannot have contact with the players prior to them entering into the portal. There's some, technicalities and legalities that go along with it. But, obviously, it is something that is here to stay. And it's something that, you have to be prepared for it in order to adjust your roster. And, like in times past, this week we'd already be out on the road recruiting. But, it is still currently a dead period, right? Like, so I remember, just a few years ago when I was at Cal, we'd play UCLA the last game on the road, stay the night in LA, get on a plane in the morning, Sunday morning. I'd be here in Phoenix recruiting because it would become a contact period on that Sunday morning. And now what they've done is they've made it a dead period this week, so you can, in essence, get your business in order with your own players, figuring out who's staying, who's going, and then get ready for all of the stuff that's going to transpire in the transfer portal. And then recruiting opens up here on Friday, and then we'll host some official visits, and then we will head out on the road recruiting on Sunday or Monday.
Coach, with Jordan Clark today, he's out. We talked about Jalen Conyers yesterday. Were you given enough of a heads up to realize these young men are going to be moving on to the transfer portal or committing to the NFL draft, so you can prepare or strategize in reference to going after another tight end or a defensive back, et cetera?
Well, and I think that's part of it too, right? Like that's what, this week basically comes down to finding out who's staying, who's going.
Sure.
And then obviously schools are doing the same thing on their end, right? And they're going to have kids get into the portal. And so when the portal opens up on Monday the 4th, hey, now we have an understanding of this is the needs that we have, and we've got to go, adjust accordingly.
And Coach, on top of that, I love how Coach Dillingham is making the player call to arms or call to action, wherever you want to be, in reference to the alumni and all the ex-players. Hey, look, we're going to need the dinero, so to speak. We're going to need the money for the NIL and the collective. Do you have to kind of see what's in the budget to see who and what you can go after? Like you said, it's the market in order to go after the right player, and versus if I get this one guy, I use all this money for this one guy versus going after 3 or 4. I mean, it's got to be like, I don't know, you're out there shopping. You only got so much money in the wallet to go to the grocery store.
Well, I mean, it's, the reality of it is you're spot on. I mean, like, I'm not going in and looking for a 3-carat diamond ring when I got $500 in my wallet.
Sure.
I can't do it. Right. But I think what, and I'm going to get real candid with you guys on this. If ASU football and the fans want things to change, then the collective and our NIL has to change. I say this, and I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but it's funny how the best teams, the best coaches, and I'm using air quotes right now, have the best players. It's funny how that works. And you look at the universities across the country that are playing in these championship games this week, and look at what type of NIL packages they have. And you have to be somewhat competitive. Because if you don't, then we're just going to be doing the same old thing over and over and over again and looking for a different result. And, you can say what you want, but I coached against that team in Arizona, their Jed's first season there. And where they're at from year 1 to year 3 is completely different. And they've gotten that way with some not solely because of this.
3 minutes.
Largely because of NIL. And it is a reality that's not going away in college football. Whether you like it or not, it's here to stay. And we've got to figure out a way to survive and excel in NIL.
Coach, when it comes to the transfer portal, how does the student athlete actually go through the process? Is it just turn on their computer, go to a website, and clock in, so to speak, or do they need to go through an administrator at the university?
Yeah, it goes through the university, and we have a collective, and it's filtered through that with the players. People contribute, obviously, to the collective, but then it's ran through the collective and distributed to those players through the collective. So there is, some hoops, so to speak, to jump through for the players to get the money. But that's obviously a different side of the actual
2 minutes
technicality of things that is handled by the school.
I'm real curious, Charlie, after Beau Baldwin decided that he was no longer going to be a Sun Devil as the offensive coordinator, where now does Kenny Dillingham go? Does he go find another OC, or is he going to continue to act as the offensive coordinator and head coach? Can you enlighten the listeners and fans on where that stands right now?
Yeah, I think that he's, going to go down that road looking for an offense. He's in the process of doing that as we speak, looking for an offensive coordinator. Absolutely.
So, Coach, what's your schedule for the next month or two?
Well, I mean, like I said, we've got some official visitors coming in here on Friday. In fact, tonight we have an event that we're going to go to, and hopefully raise some NIL money, which is pivotal for us and the success and the long-term success of Arizona State football. And then tomorrow we've got a handful of official visitors coming into town that we'll host for the weekend, and then we wrap up our ASU season with the football banquet on Sunday night, and then Monday morning we will hit the road recruiting, and for the next 3 weeks between during the week we're out on the road recruiting, and then back here over the weekends hosting visitors and getting ready as we move forward to next season.
Coach, did you ever think back in the day when you first got into this business that you go from being that coach, you're a cheerleader for your school, to now being a fundraiser to pay for these kids to play at your school, right? I mean, isn't that crazy?
It is. The game has changed immensely with the transfer portal and NIL. It has completely changed college football, and I think some things for good, some things not so good. But as my father told me a long time ago, son, understand about the dinosaur. You either adapt or you die, and you become extinct. You know what I mean? And so if you're not, you're not keeping your knees fit and being flexible and figuring out ways to advance your career and advance the program, you're going to get left behind. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to win here. I mean, we're going to win here. As I told Coach Dillingham yesterday, when you go through a program in year one, you find out. We've spent 365 days we've been here, right? We find out who's who. We find out what the players are about. You find out every little facet of the program. Now it's time to go in and fine-tune the things that we need to tweak and adjust, and we're moving forward. And everybody that's on that boat is rowing in the same direction, and we're going to row this thing right into some winning football here in the next couple of seasons.
Sun Devil fans are loving hearing that. Coach, thank you for your time today, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate you guys as always. Go Devils.
That's Charlie Ragle, courtesy of Crest Insurance Group. Crest Insurance Group offers personal, business, and specialty insurance solutions for clients across all markets. Go to